Well, welcome back to Focus today. Steve Johnson with you, along with Renee Hewitt, who you have heard on the Dove Radio from time to time, as well as being on the Dove TV and Dove Radio right now.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here. And you
here.
wear so many hats. Of course, you at any moment could be in a Camelot production play, right? Are you looking at anyone coming up soon? Are you working in any?
No, but I'm looking forward to directing Les Miserables. Which is going to be next year.
Okay.
That doesn't start until next year. So.
When do you actually start kind of working on it?
May 10th is our first rehearsal, but I'm already working on it.
Wow. Okay, that's one of the hats. The other hat has to do with what you're here for, actually.
Yes.
And that is this year's Living Nativity in Jacksonville, which you directed last year, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of in charge of the actors and the guides and kind of the people that the public sees.
Now, was last year the first year you did that?
No, this year's the third year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
this year,
yeah, this year coming up is the third year.
How many? Give us a history. How many years has this Living Nativity been going on in Jacksonville?
3. So this will be the. So it's just this.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
You started it.
Well, no, actually, Jay Vilprez spearheaded it, and they sent letters out to the churches in Jacksonville saying, "Does anyone want to join us in doing this?" Because they didn't want it to be about Jacksonville Presbyterian. They wanted it to be a community effort, and so a total of 5 churches answered the call, and they're all involved, and they're kind of at the base of what goes on, and then from there it branches out, and we just get as many volunteers as we can.
Well, that's cool. Now, for those people who haven't seen it, you know, some Living Nativities are done in a church where it's like part of a special type thing, but this is actually one where people go from station to station.
Yes.
Right? How many stations are there that you go through?
There are 6 scenes or stations, and it's on the beautiful Bigham Knoll campus, and it's outdoors on the campus, and there is a guide that comes along and takes you through the Living Nativity, and we just have all the scenes from the Bible. We have Mary and Gabriel, we have the innkeeper, the inn, we have the angel with the shepherds, Mary and Joseph in the manger, Herod, King Herod and the wise men, and then we finally end with the wise men and Mary and Joseph and Jesus later when they finally reached him.
So it's the chronology in a time frame, so that when you go from one, here's the next thing that happened.
Right.
And it's the story that you find in the Gospels.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. There's a narration that plays at each scene. It's a recorded narration, which this year it's different. If you've been there before, it's dramatized this year, which is wonderful. The recordings are dramatized. So I brought in several actors to actually be the voice of Gabriel or be the voice of Mary or the innkeeper or Herod.
So the people who are acting don't actually speak, but
no,
they
they
act
don't.
out the emotion?
Yeah, I don't. We're not doing tableaus, so the narration plays and the actors kind of mime the action while the narration is playing.
I see. So this starts well before Christmas. That the actual nativities, Living Nativities occur. When does it actually start where people can tour through it?
We are the first, this year it's the first weekend in December. So it's December 6th, 7th, and 8th this year. And the times are Friday from 6 to 9 and Saturday and Sunday from 4 to 8.
And it's probably, enough time so that if people have other Christmas vacation holiday plans, you'll still be in the area that early.
Yeah.
Now, is this a time when you're looking for people to be volunteers for all this?
Yes,
how big a deal is this? How many volunteers do you need every year?
Well, last year I was managing upwards of 80 people, probably closer to 83, 84 people.
And that's comprised within the 6 scenes?
Yes, that's the guides. That's census takers. That we actually have census takers at the beginning, where people, when they show up, they get a census. They have a census taken.
I'm getting a census of that.
Yes, exactly. And and then the groups. Yes, and then the actors within the scenes. And then also there are people that need to run those little narration, the sound system, the little speakers that are at each station. We need people to also run those. And
while, if I have this right, while some scenes only have a couple people in them, you have other scenes that have, like, what, the shepherds, you got multiple people and all that. So how many do you have? Do you know of any one scene? What's the biggest scene you have? How many people involved in that?
It depends from year to year. I would say probably actually scene 2, because I like to have a lot of townspeople while the narration is playing with the innkeeper and Mary and Joseph. Of course, that's when Mary's still pregnant.
And they're shuffling around.
And the townspeople are kind of moving back and forth.
You need wanderers?
I need wanderers.
As well as shepherds?
Yes.
Okay, so can you kind of give us a rundown of who it is that you need?
Yeah, exactly. I need 5 Marys.
And this is for the 3 nights, right?
This is for the 3.
And these are different shifts?
Yes, I have an early shift and a late shift, and I like to do that to break it up so that no one person is doing all night long.
Oh, okay.
Because that's a long time, especially if it's cold outside. It's really hard to do. So this is when it's broken up. So I have 5 Marys. I need a Gabriel. I need 3 Josephs, an innkeeper. I actually don't have a lot of townspeople for that scene I was just talking about. Scene 2, I need townspeople. 3 shepherds. I need a King Herod.
Oh,
yeah, I need
sounds like a critical role.
It is very critical, and actually last year there were a few people who were so gracious. I was low on volunteers last year, and there were people that worked all night long, all 3 nights, and my Herod was one of them, and I really don't want to do that to him again this year.
He was a pooped out king. Yeah.
Exactly. There's a new character, Herod's advisor, and he's the one who, actually I need 2 of those. He's the one who tells Herod, you know, when he asks, where is this supposed to be born? What does it say in the scriptures? 5 wise men, 8 guides, 4 census takers, and depending if each, to play the narration players, if each person only does it once, I need 14. If each person works a shift each night, I need 5. Does that make sense?
Sure. If somebody's interested, they can find the details of all that. But that's a lot of people.
Yes,
that you have there.
It is quite a few people, but you know.
And you need a partridge in a pear tree too.
Yeah,
right?
there you go. Exactly. And the thing for kids, if you're in high school, you can earn your community service hours by doing the Live Nativity.
And so, might they be townspeople, or
they can be anything? They can run the sound. They can, as long as they're there and we can sign off, they actually can earn their community service hours.
Oh,
I know
that's
they
pretty
do
cool.
that, you know, for high school.
Any idea how many people have gone through last 3 years have gone through this nativity?
Yeah, well, last year, the first year it was just kind of a guess, but last year we did kind of a census, and so we got a really good idea. And Friday nights, between 500 and 600 people come through.
Wow, one night?
In one night. And Saturday nights, between 800 and 900 people come through. And then on Sundays, between 15 and 1,800 people come through.
Wow, so earlier then of those 3 days is better if you're going to be a person to go to it. Now, it doesn't cost anything, does it?
No, it is completely free, which is why we need the volunteers. Because, yes, we don't want to charge for the gospel. It's not something we want to do.
Have you heard some of the stories of either the people who walked through or maybe the people who were some of the characters that you mentioned you need? Is there any kind of testimonies about how this impacted them that you can think about? How this had some effect?
Yeah, we've had people come through. One lady comes to mind that we have searchlights that are out there that go up into the sky and cross up in the sky, kind of making the star. And one lady I heard, she came through and she came into the ballroom, because it ends up in the ballroom on Bigham Knoll, and there's performing. There's going to be crafts for kids this year, and there's food, and there's all kinds of stuff in the ballroom. And she was talking to one of the pastors at one of the tables and saying, wow, to be there and to see it, and actually the lights, as if it was the star.
Oh, yeah.
And it really deeply, deeply moved her. She was very moved. I've gotten just really good reports from people that have gone through. The people that are acting in it, you know, they enjoy it. Most of them do come back year after year.
And some are, I was going to say, I was in it last year, and I know some of the guys that said, I've done this for 2 years now. And,
exactly.
You know, they had that rolled down.
Yeah, and yes, exactly.
Or one said, I was Gabriel last year, and this year I'm a shepherd or something.
Yeah, and they switch it up.
Okay, how do people get in touch with you if they, because you need some of these people, don't you?
I do.
How do they get in touch with you?
They can give me a call at 541-944-8044.
Okay.
Or they can email me at Renee, which is Renee @ Hewitt, HEWITT, and the number 4.com.
Okay, and we'll mention that again in the moments we have before the program's over. You said there are 5 churches involved in this, right?
Yes.
And there is kind of a cost to all of this, but again, it is free for the people walking through it. So do the churches pick up the inherent cost?
The churches do some of that. Actually, you know, Bigham Knoll, Mel and Brooke Ashland have been very gracious in picking up a lot of the costs because it's on their property.
And it's outside in Jacksonville, so it's a great area there.
Yeah.
All right, why don't you give the number again and the address for people?
541-944-8044. That's my phone number. And the email address is renee@hewitt4.com.
Okay, now have you played any roles in this or just the role of director?
I just that's enough.
For you, what would be the plum role for Renee Hewitt?
Plum role?
King Herod, I don't think that would work out.
That would be fun.
I would think Mary, maybe?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm a little old for Mary, though.
Well, we'll age adjust that. That's not a problem. But age shouldn't be a problem, you say. For anybody who's interested, you can fit them in.
No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, all right. Well, thanks for being with us. Give Renee a call if you need that information. Call us here at the Dove and have a successful Living Nativity.
Yeah, thank you.